David Boyle, and I'm quitting alcohol. So I did my first gig of the year last night, Drunklings Comedy Club, Bangalore, Cormangla, Bangalore, and it's good to be back. There's nothing like the stage. There's nothing like getting up on stage and just feeling alive. No, it was good to be back on stage. There was a solid 7 people there. 4 of them barely spoke English. 2 of them looked like, I don't know, weird, either like closet gay Indians or serial killers. I don't know what the fuck they were, but they were fucking weird. Actually, there were 8 people. Some drunk Indian bitch walked in right at the end, last few minutes. But it was good, actually. I just got up on stage and started riffing. I tried a few jokes that I fucking didn't think would work in India, and they seem to have worked, but it's hard to tell. It's hard to tell if they were like laughing because of the joke or because I was pulling a stupid head and they were going on my inflection. It's fucking hard to tell. It's hard to tell, but that's why you fucking try different shit out, I suppose. The fun part, though, was hanging out with the comedians afterwards, and I can tell you right now, I've been seeing these comedians for like probably 6 years now. So I met some of them when they were in their first or second year of comedy. I met some of them when they were 3 years in. There's a couple that were like 4 years in. So now a lot of them have like 6, 8 years under their belt of comedy, and I can tell you right now, the hope is disappearing from their eyes rapidly. Year after year, they become more jaded. It's good to see. The hope is dying. It's extinguishing. A couple of them have completely given up hope. They still do comedy. You don't need hope to do comedy. You just use inertia and sunken costs to continue comedy. But a few of them were just like, I don't give a fuck about anything anymore. I just want to get better at comedy, which should be the main goal anyway. I just want to do the comedy. I don't care about anything else. Fuck that. Fuck this. If something happens, whatever. I'm like, yeah, you're stunned to become a comedian. All these years, you still had the twinkle in your eye. It's gone out of most of their eyes now. The thing is here, it's probably worse than Australia because your only way out is sort of blowing up on YouTube. There's no like club scene. You can sort of bounce around and scratch out a living. There's no club scene in Australia either, but you can do like fucking gigs. You can scratch out a living in Australia. Not a good one. This is just as a stand-up. This is with no fame, just being a like rock solid stand-up. Here, there's none of that. You got to sell tickets, otherwise you're fucked. You can do corporate gigs here, actually. A few of them scrape by with some corporate shit, which seems to pay pretty fucking good. But again, most of them get sucked up by the famous comedians. So yeah, here the stand-up's one thing, but yeah, fucking have to do the social media shit. You have to be putting the fucking clips out. You have to be doing stupid shit on YouTube. I'm trying to get these cunts to start podcasts as well. If they had started it 3-4 years ago, by now it probably would have been huge. I think there's a couple of podcasts going around, but I don't think they're doing it right. I'd have to go on these podcasts like Gordan Ramsay, like fucking Podcast Nightmares with Boyle. What the fuck is this? What kind of microphone is this? Is this a battery-powered Shure microphone? Get it give it here. Let me try it. Me. Pathetic. I reckon I could fucking sort them out a podcast real fucking quick. But they're like, nah, podcasts aren't big here. I'm like, they will be. There's 1.3 billion people here. Your market needs to be like 0.001 of the population. And you're fucking out of control. So yeah, it's good to see a lot of them are broken. A lot of jaded comedians here. Which means over the next couple of years, things are really going to fucking hit their straps. Once you've given up the ghost, everything else follows with dead certainty. So I hung out with the comedians last night till like fucking 1:30. Had a couple of darts, you know, when in Rome. Look, the darts here are so fucking good. They're tasty, they're cheap, everyone has them. I haven't had a dart for about 3 months, so fucking why not? We went to one of these Indian dive bars. Indian dive bars are fucking great, by the way. So in India, there's like levels. There's the most opulent fucking breweries here that are just like next level crazy good. Like huge. You've never seen bigger fucking breweries, outdoor venues than here. It's fucking insane. So you got those, then you've got like crazy bars and shit. Then you've got the sort of like cheaper places that uni students go to, and they're pretty cool too. I like hanging out there. And then you've got the local bars, because the poorer people still need to drink. They need their alcohol too, but they can't afford to be paying $10 Australian for a Budweiser. By the way, Budweiser's like the second biggest drink in India. The biggest beer in India is Kingfisher, second biggest Budweiser. Possibly even Budweiser's bigger. A lot of people drink Bud here. So yeah, you go to these local bars and they're just proper fucking dive bars. Cheap as shit. Like bottom of the barrel whiskey, cheap beers, everything's cheap, darts are flowing, cheap chips, like crisps. It's fucking like 10 rupees for a packet of chips, like 10 rupees a dart. 10 rupees is like how much? 20 cents or something? A small 500ml bottle of whiskey, like $3. Like these local bars are cheap and they're dodgy. Like the cunts that go there are dodgy. I walked in. Luckily, I was with like 8 guys. But they're like, who the fuck is this cunt? And they're rowdies in there as well. They're just like, they want to fight. Like, they're giving you eyeballs. I went out the front to get an Uber and it got cancelled. So I was fucking waiting out the front for like half an hour by myself. And just every cunt was like, what's this cunt doing here? What's this cunt doing out the front? Because they all lick it up as well. So the blood's boiling and they see a fucking handsome fucking Westerner standing out the front in a New York hat and a beautiful jacket. So they're probably thinking, let's get this cunt. And I reckon I could take 2 or 3 Indians, but there's never 2 or 3. It's usually between 12 and 28. And I was thinking about it last night while I was waiting for my Uber that never turned up. I was like, if something did kick off now, how useful is my jiu-jitsu going to be? I'll choke out one guy while I'm getting kicked in the head. You don't want to be going to the ground in a street fight. So I'm like, fucking, I need to get my striking abilities up. I need to get back to kickboxing and get my face smashed in again. What's the point of trying to fucking put a rear naked choke on some cunt in a street fight? It's not going to work. Choke him out while you're getting stomped. Then you got to get back to your feet, grab another cunt, choke them out. Maybe you just get control of them and ground and pound them. That's where the jiu-jitsu comes in handy. You just fucking take control and just lay elbows. Anyway, none of that occurred. It's just you think about it. So that was fucking cool going to this local bar. Dive bars are like where I belong. I don't belong in these fucking breweries and fancy places. I'm a bottom of the barrel type of cunt. Nothing interesting happens in those other places anyway. These places, it's action. It's always action. Anyway, I've got another gig tonight and tomorrow night. So fucking let's wind it up, eh? Yeah, let's fucking wind it up. So that'll do for today. If you're enjoying the podcast, give it a share around. Give us a review on Spotify, iTunes, wherever you listen. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and I'll see you the fuck later.